Let's start on page Taf Kufayin Ches, and here we have. This is the fifth possible, what's the right word, variation in the understanding of the words of the Rashbi. He says, number hey, the fifth one, the Yafeh Shaah bir kan lefi darko. Now, okay, v'da'ayre rabakan be'ini d'liyas zer v'nuk l'mayim nukvin. It's really talking about the mayim nukvin concept. B'kol Yesod the Erik Anpin, and how does the mayim nukvin come out? Comes out as a result of the of an energy that receives from the Yesod of Erik Anpin, Shehu Nishmasam, which is panimi to everything. And they goes up along with them all the way up to the Mochas Dimah. This is man. The Mochas Dimah, the Erik Anpin, Ein Sham. So here he's saying that the motivating energy is coming from the Yesod of Erik Anpin. But the V'zeh Bir Khan V'zel Lashon. Let's see what happened here. I think we lost Rabbi. We lost him again. Okay, we'll wait for him to come back. This is especially Okay, let's see. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. The speaker's on. Okay, so this is what he's saying here. Badilig. Hi, now there's some of these phrases. Hi, b'maskele, this phrase. It goes up on the maskele. So the maskele, salka, kadimo beluchudui. And then the rest of it goes that the beginning one is by itself. That's what we've been saying, something like that. So now he wants to say a pirish, hi, who either it says Yesod the Erik Anpin or do Yesod the Erik Anpin, something that's coming up on Zer Anpin. What is he talking about? He's talking about the balance somehow, pirish, hi, who Yesod the Erik Anpin, referring either to the Yesod of an aspect of it. Yachol la'alchos as Zer Venuk. So therefore it's able to bring up the Zocher Venuk, the maskele salka, and they go up into this maskele. Now what? The shekane, so that's really the same thing. So what did we actually get, except he introduced the idea of the Yesod of Erik Anpin, which he said previously. Shekane ku darko shal Yesod la'alkos la'olam olamalo. Adadas, because this is the nature of Yesod, is the Tikkun elevator, excuse my pun. He said the alos la'olam lamala adadas shu hanikra maskele. It's called its balance scale, or its balancer. Who that is this Yesod. Mamsha katiba min das. It goes up to the das. It goes to the higher floors. Kamosha kasa Rabbeinu Zach be'etz chaim. Have a little blurb on this. Ubeshar kavonas drashi yotze the Shabbos. So shisha pamim hakol, which is I thought, I saw this now for the in the Siddur on Shabbos. I'm still not sure what to do with it, but he says, let's look at number nun base and number nun dal and nun gimel, because that's what we just went through, those two. He says, yeah, we're okay. So he says, Rei be'etz chaim, look at the Rei Chaim, v'zel d'shana b'dilug. He's looking at the Yesod nikra maskil. La'es and Azrachi. So the maskil La'es and Azrachi, which is what? It's a title of a tefillah, of a tefillah, of Tehillim. Kamo shemavur b'chabesabed b'shpatim. Apparently that's over in the Zohar over there. Okay. She'amar ki zeh hamaskil shehu Yesod. So what is this balancer we're talking about? The balancer is Yesod. Hula Elev Hula Sata. You find it down below, you find it up above. Agam Ramos Bezoyer Bakudi Behechelos. He says what? Ki Yosef Ihul the Elev Ihul the Sata. Yosef is Yesod. Ki Zos Hu Hamala Sheyesh El Yesod. This is the Mal Yoser Mishar Spheros, more than all the rest of the spheros. Shehu Yachol Alos Al Das, because he has the ability to go up to Das. And this is information that we know already. Because the man Sherot Alos, whenever he wants to go up. This is the secret of Yotzer the Shachris. What? Of the Shachris, the Shabbos. Shatiknu bo zayin pamim hakol al derek ad kan ein sham. So I'm just wondering about that, since I saw this one time, and then we had Shabbos, and I saw those 6 hakols. I counted them up, and there they were. And I was trying to figure out, well, what did he say? What is he saying here? So he's saying that these hakols, and what pshat hakol? Hakol is a word for, could be reserved for the word like hakolel, like that. So it has to do with Yesod. So that's what I'm trying to understand from facts that he's giving me. The Shachris, the Shabbos, shetiknu bo zayin pa mem hakol. So you have 7 times it says hakol. This is going through 7 levels. I'm not sure. Ayin sham. There's a lot more to be said about that. Number Nun Gimel went on the phrase. He said besod shisha pa mem hakol. That's on this again. He says Rei b'shar kavonos sham b'zel l'shono. Heichel Yesod oila b'birchus yotzer. Mitachilas habrocha ad sod ein aruch l'cha Hashem elokecha. So he says again, the kavana is that the heichel Yesod, there's a heichel Yesod, it's able to go up at brachas yotzer mitachilas habrocha ad ein aruch l'cha Elokeinu. The heichel hazeh, that this heichel hu ha'ola atach b'Shabbos l'mala b'kol shar zayin heichlim zer az heichli zeranpin. So this is the heichel that's able to go into a higher level than all the other zayin heichle zeranpin. K'nayda the Yosef Yesod chavivo de kula, he is the most cherished of all, the salik al kula, and winds up on top of all of them. So this is a statement. He's saying like this. The way I understand the Kabbalah here is that the bris trumps everything. That the shmiras habris is what Yosef is able to maintain, and that maintains his ability to communicate or to be a part of oneness with Rachel, with the Nook, and as a result of that, it's able to go up higher than anything else. Ad heichel ava de abba be'ima. What the heck am I doing here? I just turned them off. Okay, I'm gonna come back. Okay, got you back again. So the last line, I was thinking this is a whole lot of other things, so I'll just read it again, just it was reverberating again. Because of the Shmiras Bris, this has an ability to go up to the highest possible levels. Connected to Yosef, Yesod, Chavivo, Dekula, Vasalik, Al Kula, and goes up on top of all of them. So I guess in all the Aliyah, it's all being headed, going upwards to, by Yosef, which is the Shmiras Bris. For whom Mis'ala, so he goes up, Va'ola ad Heichel Ava, and where they come, the place of Eichel Ha'ava, Va'ad Ava Be'ima. What's the Heichel Ava Ava Be'ima? I'm thinking it has to do with Yichdes Lashon Yichud also. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, let's go on after number Nun Gimel from up above. And here we go. Okay, here we go. He says, it was Bishar Gavanos, so that was, we mentioned that, on the Holulav, excuse me, I make marks that makes it difficult for me to read what's going on. Well, let's just see, we got, just going through the thick of this, we got a Nun Dalet on this. So he said, Bishar Gavanos, Sham, V'zel L'shono, Yosef Yesod Salik Bechabibo, because of his cherished state, until it actually reached the Moach. Kanizker Bezoyer and Parshas Pekudi. Now, what Moach is he talking about? So I'm not sure. So I guess he means Das. But Parshas Pekudi Behechelos, Gam said Beposhet Parshas Mishpatim, it says Be'inyan Haku Saba, Bepasuk Maskil Le'esa Nazrachi, the Salak Ad Muchel Lahamshech Misham Tipus Azera, because he's able to go get the Tipus Azera there. Okay, that's just an extension of, I could have been all in like one blur, but one ha'ar, I think. At any rate, so he says it's in the Shara Kavanos, and we just went through this, and that was going to be, okay. Yu'un Sham Kadmo Shuhu Mazla Kadisha Bechinas Adas Kamor. So the phrase was, let me just look at it again. He says, B'maskala Salka Kadmoy Beluchudui. So he says, what's Kadmoy mean? Shuhu Mazla Kadisha Bechinas Adas Kamor. But this is the upper mazel, which is, what's the mazel? He says, the mazel, the concept of das. Shuhu Kodem Elyon Min Yesod de Erik Anpen. So it's higher, come before the Yesod of Erik Anpen. Biluchudui, at that point, it's by itself, Levado, Koi B'makom V'oz Yored Misham, and then it goes back down from there. Let's just pick up Nun Hey again. It's like a twisting story here. And see if we can pick up something that gives us a better idea of where we're holding in the Yafeh Shaah. So Devarim Elam Yusadim Al Divra Eitz Chaim, he says, and Muvach B'Yafeh Shaah La'el, so we already heard that. He says, this is what it is, and this is the Petoch Devarav, this is what he says. Zeh hamucha ilo de Erik Anpin, mis oro al yedech Yesod de Erik Anpin. It is aroused by the Yesod of Erik Anpin. That's like a yichud uminei ubei, sounds like to me, canal. We said something like that. Amnam ein koch mucha ilo atzmo yored ad abba ve'ima. So the generation of this energy still is not strong enough by itself to come down from yored, to come into abba ve'ima, which is the place that the Yesod wants to get up into that area. Ki gadlam al-also ad ma'od, because it's so tremendously, I guess, transparent. It's so tremendously, powerfully nothing. Hamuach de Erik Anpen, called Gedulov, who bedikna de Erik Anpen. It has a way of growing, I guess he means to say, or gaining power, through going through the process of the hismatus of the beard of Erik Anpen, Kamasha Kasaba Makomo. So those are just some ideas. He doesn't really finish it out 100%. So then he goes and over here and he says, V'kula l'chad is chazer. So everything goes back to be one. Hu masha kasser Rabbeinu Zal. This is what Rabbeinu Zal says in Eitz Chaim. So we had these two phrases, kadmoah, which refers to the upper mazel, he says. And it becomes confusing because then he brings in an idea which doesn't seem to go exactly together, but he says that you get he says it comes before the Yesod of Erik Anpen, and then there's a whole thing about the Yesod of Erik Anpen. Anyway, it's not that easy for me to get. So v'kula l'chad is chazer, then we want to talk about that. So that's the concept of kadmoy, that there was something there to begin with, a mazel, I'm not sure exactly, and it came before Erik Anpen, the Yesod of Erik Anpen. Now we go v'kula l'chad is chazer, and everything goes back into oneness. Masha Kasser Rabbeinu Zech be'Eitz Chaim, what he writes, Esha acher shenimshach chelak tifas mayim duchrin lezer anpen. So now you're streaming down the tipa of mayim duchrin lezer anpen ayidei abba levado. So this is coming in, this tipa is coming strictly by abba, not abba ve'ima. I'm not sure what this means. Yored b'das the abba. So it goes down into the das of abba, Again, he says, Sha'ach shenimshach chelik tipas mayim dukrin deser anpin al yedecha ba'aba levado. Yored b'das the Abba goes down into the das of Abba, b'das the from the das, it's the middle line, the Yesoda. V'Abba nois necha b'sod zivug b'Yesod de'im. And the way I understood this is not that easy for me to understand. It's just the two things happening. So going back to the Sha'ach nimshach chelik tipas mayim, a portion of the tipa goes down in mayim duchurim. It goes into Zer Anpen, and this action, which is a partial action, he's trying to say it's a chelik. He says it goes down the Yedei Abba alone. So then, after that, Yored B'das the Abba. The rest of the tipa, that's where I have to understand it. The rest of the das of Abba, the rest of the tipa goes down into the das of Abba, and the das the Yesodo, and from the das it goes into Yesod. Vava knows the Yesod zivug b'Yesod the Ima and Abba. Then this goes through the regular process. So what happened first, according to this, is that a small part went into Zer Anpen. He says again, Shaharin nimshach chelik tipas mayim dechurim the Zer Anpen al yedei Abba levado. So it doesn't say what happens to it. He says it's already in there. That's why I'm hearing. He said, "B'das Yesod," and from das goes Yesod. If Abba knows the Yesod zivug b'Yesod the Im, and now he places in the Yesod of Im, it's going to generate a complete all the mochim for Zer Anfen the Nimsa hakol nasim b'Yesod the Im, and then everything winds up in the Yesod of Ima. V'sham nikva v'naasa b'Yesod Rikia, and then here's a new idea. And there it makes the secret of the concept of a Rikia. Rikia to me means something up above. I'm just not sure what that means. So then there's like a full something up above, like in the olam above us, in some way, or which could be, let's say, Bina. And that's what it means when the Bekula L'chad is chazer. It's even the mayim duchrein, the Zer Anpin, that Abba that was already pushed out through by Abba. The Chad is Chazer b'Yesod the Ima. All of it comes back. That I think he means the remnant or the majority of that chelik that went already into Zer Anpin. All of it comes back and winds up inside of Ima. So let's stop here as we're getting closer to the end. And that was a lot because, like often you see here is that there are major parts missing of the whole story. So we're trying to pick up the narrative, and we're getting the Rav is giving us, the Rebbe, what do we say, Rebbe Shimon, and the Forshim are giving us pieces of ideas that have to do with this. Okay, today is for Nis. 83. Okay. Now we'll